What's going on, guys? Welcome to the My Parents Office podcast. I am your host, Andrew Diaz. Today, we start the episode off with me and Tom for episode 90. Tom and I, this is going to be our third and I think final summer song draft that we've done. We did the very first one with Phoenix. Last episode, we did one with Nate, so I'm going to change up my picks a little bit from that. But now we're going to do one with Tom. We've got on the second half of the episode an interview with Connecticut native, Maloney High grad, and Central Connecticut State second baseman, Elliot Good. So I'm excited to talk to Elliot. Talk about their trip out to Eugene when they played in the Eugene bracket against Oregon and LSU, and now he's up playing summer ball in New York. So I'm excited to talk to him. We've kind of been circling around a little bit on getting him on, and we finally got a time that's worked out for both of us. So that'll follow this. Before Tom and I get into it, we've got our TikTok page is up now. So go give that a follow. Like I said, on Instagram, we're going to be putting up more clips from interviews. So if you want to preview it or just check it out, go give us a follow. So go check that out. It's at My Parents Office on TikTok. Simple as that. Go give us a follow, like us. I don't know if you can turn on post notifications, but if you can, go do that. Aside from that, we've got Substack, articles from the office. Go subscribe to that. We've got Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Instagram and Twitter is at My Parents Office. And then Facebook is My Parents Office Podcast. All one big word. So go find that and like us on Facebook. T-shirts are still on sale, $12. T-shirt giveaway is still going on. So go find that post, a couple posts back. I'll throw it up on the Instagram story again. So go check that out. But other than that, Tom, what's going on?
Nothing much. I'm just chilling. What about you?
Not too much. Been a pretty uneventful night. Just been hanging out, just doing a little writing. Just like I said, just not too. It's been a lazy night.
I can feel that. I was just chilling, kind of the whole day with some friends. So nothing crazy for today. It's like one of my only day off, so enjoyed it a little bit.
You're still at LL Bean, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, LL Bean, what's the discount look like for you at LL Bean?
I mean, I get a 33% on everything in the store. No matter, it's even not even like LL Bean brand. So like if I want to get like a Yeti or something like that, I could get 33. But then they give you a discount card too of like 50, where that's going to be used for like things you can wear into the store, like shoes, pants, jackets, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Basically everything, like if I wanted like, I don't know, a chair or a kayak, I'd get 33% off.
That's pretty sweet. That's most places it's like 10, 15% if you work there. So I mean that's pretty sweet that they give you that.
Oh yeah. No, it's helpful, but like I don't really buy too much LL Bean stuff. There's like when you walk in, say if you walk into that store, you're gonna notice like a few different types of employees. So there's gonna be like the first employee that's really into that outdoor stuff, like they're going hiking, they're going camping, doing all this, they know what they're talking about. And then there's employees like me and like I'd say like my friends that I have there. Yeah. We just know how to sell. We know how like to talk to a customer and all that. But I've talked to all my friends, like we don't go on hikes like that. Like I'll enjoy a hike here and there, but I'm nothing crazy like how they are.
Right.
Like they're outdoorsy type stuff. We're just there because it's a minimum wage job and it's all right. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's so every time we go up to Maine, we hit the Freeport, that outlet area. Yep. Where they've got like the Nike, the Vineyard Vines, all that, but they have that huge LL Bean where it's literally like their own compound there, and all the workers. There's no workers like you there. It's all the earthy, crunchy people that wear the really high like wool socks with shorts and the boots. Yep. That you walk in there, you just get flooded with people like that. But it's nice because they do know what they're talking about. Yeah. But like what's up?
Like we're not like they're not idiots about like this stuff. Like you could go to a store, like I don't know, go to any like random clothing store. Like they might be a complete moron, just like the same like how I am there, basically like just trying to sell something or just trying to do your job. So at least when they hire people, they're like getting people they know can talk about this stuff, which a lot of stores don't do that.
Well, I worked at Home Depot and I was that way. Like I worked there for probably 6 or 7 months. and
You
I
still
had
had
no clue where the aisles were. Like I'm probably the least handy person you're gonna come across. Like I know pretty much next to nothing when it comes to a lot of this. So
Yep.
every time I like even in my 6th month of working there, if people would ask me a question, I'd be like, but yeah, I don't know. Like this is my first month here. Like, sorry, I'm still training. And like I'd been there for like 6 or 7 months. I'm sure I've said it to like the same people multiple times when they'd come in. So like, that's how I was there. I'm like, I can tell you where the carpets are and I can tell you where the greenhouse is. Outside of that, like you're on your own. I'll point you in the direction, but
But you got
yeah,
some
I
good
mean,
pay there.
what's up?
Home Depot pays good, didn't they? Or like, don't they now?
Probably now since I've left. I mean, but it also like my hours weren't bad until they started just throwing us on weekends because I was working weekdays 5 in the morning to 10 in the morning, and then I was done for the day.
Oh,
So it was
that's not
pretty
too bad.
sweet. Yeah, and then they threw us on weekends. They're like, you're gonna work 5 to like 1:30. I'm like, there's no way I'm doing this anymore.
That's OD. That's
Yeah.
luckily the hours at LOB and they're pretty nice.
Hmm.
Like earliest shifts I've had like been like 8, maybe 9. So it's very generous over there.
What's
And
the
yeah,
best? What's the best thing you've gotten from your discount from there? Was it like a Yeti from there?
you know, I guess it's gonna be my bean boots because I've been going back and forth on getting a Yeti cooler. So like I got like different bean boots. I guess that's probably the best. Because other than that, like I'm not buying their clothes. Just I'm not buying their shirts, anything like that. It's just not my style.
Yeah.
Which is a big thing that you need to like go over because when you look at LOB, it's basically anybody like over 50 is like our main consumer of our stuff. And so I'm just thinking like, all right, they're gonna reach a roadblock in the future of like, all right, how the hell do we get to the younger generation? We can't
Right.
just keep selling like moccasins and bean boots. That's gonna stop. So you gotta figure out some shit. But they'll figure it out.
I don't know though. I mean, them like the bean boot. Well, the thing that hurts them with the bean boots and moccasins now is the return policy that
Well,
they got rid of
that
that.
yeah, that was just because people abused it at that point. It was a 1% of people that are like, just going back and forth every week, like, oh, I need a new pair, I need a new pair.
Hmm.
But it was for most of the people, it's like, yeah, it's just like, oh, this is like a bad like rip or something like that. So that was most of the people.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, like the bean boots and moccasins, you see people. I mean, I have 2 pairs of bean boots. I have 2 pairs of the moccasins, and I mean, if they like the thing with them that stuff is they don't come out with other styles of like the bean boots. Like I have a pair of red and blue ones
Yeah.
that are like I got those up in Maine, but those are like the only other color ones I have seen. Like it's either the brown or the green tip ones
Yep.
that
Yep.
you
Yep.
really see. Like if they had come out with different colors, they would sell out of them in I think no time if they did just different colors in the low and high.
I think it's just because they're still handmade. That's the one
Yeah.
thing. They're not mass produced, so that's probably a reason why. Because I was like talking to my coworkers because I'm mostly like working the footwear department, and I was like, man, if we get like a Nike custom like stuff, something like that with like the bean boot, like
Oh my
you go onto
god.
their website, you pick like the leather, you pick the gum. I feel like that would do wonders. But then again, they're all custom made, so it'd be like, probably a lot more harder for them.
Mhm.
And then they'd probably be forced to go like mass produce, and that would just suck because that'd make them not. Because that's like one of like the only few things that are still made in America from LL Bean.
It would
Like,
be inauthentic if they started like mass producing in like Vietnam or China or one of the Koreas.
you see like a Sperry boot, like there's many different variations of a bean boot. They're
Mhm.
all just mass produced, but like they're the same thing.
Bean boots are just so durable. Like I love both of mine. But honestly, if they did like a Nike ID of bean boots, I would probably pay like $400 and get a
It'd
custom
work
pair.
well. It would work so well.
I,
But
I would break the bank getting a pair of those, dude.
I'm not gonna tell that to them. It's only a minimum wage job. I don't really care at that point. Like I'm just there to make money and leave. I'm not making any like points. I'm not making this my career. There's some
Yeah,
people there that are making that their career. I'm like, all right, that you do you. I appreciate you guys, but this is not for me.
right.
I know at a certain point I'll be done from there.
So, like I mentioned before, this is gonna be our third and I think final summer song draft. So I like getting different people's input on what they're listening to. Like Phoenix, he's a huge Juice World fan, so there was a lot of that. Nate LaJoy is not a big rap fan, so he the only rap he really listens to is like older Drake.
Yeah.
But he's a big Dave Matthews Band fan, Blink 182. So it was two very very different um opposite sides of the spectrum. So I'm curious what you're going to go with. The way the draft will go, 5 picks.
Gotcha.
We started off, we just bounce it off each other. Just can't take the same song, which I don't think we'll really run into. That's usually not an issue.
Let me just get my Spotify out just so I can have that on the side.
Oh, I've got my Apple Music already up. I've got my summer playlist up, and I'm just looking to see what 5 I can throw in this time. So number 1 pick, you're gonna lead us off. What's gonna be the number? Oh yeah, the number 1. So for this, it's the number, like the 5 songs you're gonna have throughout your whole rotation this summer. I have a feeling we're gonna continue this when the fall hits, winter, spring, so on. So number 1 pick.
Do this have to be like in a certain order? Can I just be like, this is not like my number 1? Does it have to be like that?
No. So it doesn't have to be like your order for it. Like if you have 5 in mind, just throw them out in any order.
Gotcha. So I guess my first one will be My Life, J. Cole 21 Savage off his new album. That's a really good one. I've been really liking that one.
I haven't listened to his new album yet. Is it worth it?
I liked it. There's good features. It's got 21 Savage, it's got Lil Baby, it's got other people on there too. So I thought it was good. It's definitely not going to be like the 2014 Forest Hills Drives. That's never going to be being.
Nothing's going to be like that though. So
I still liked it. He explored his stuff. So I say give it a listen. It's a good one.
With J. Cole, like I'm not a huge J. Cole fan, but I've said it with Brett before. If enough people like them, then they must be like, this person or band must be talented. Like I can recognize that, and I hate the people that music shame people, where they're like, "Oh, you like X band or X person." That they're not good. I'm like, well, that's your opinion. I'm a fan.
Exactly. And J. Cole's about to go on tour too. If you didn't see that, he's about to be on tour.
All the tours got released. Like Pitbull's going on tour. I think I'm going to try to get tickets for the Jack Harlow one when he comes to Boston, House of Blues.
Oh, J. Cole's going to Boston. He's going to TD Garden. It's with 21 Savage too. So I already like try to pick out dates because I'll be down at school. I was like, okay, there's one in Houston. That's like Houston from LSU is like a 3-hour drive. Like
it's not a bad drive.
I was like, I gotta do it. Like they're like J. Cole and 21 Savage are probably like my top 2 like artists at the moment. I could tell you that. And I just love their collab. So I think that's something I gotta do.
When is the Houston show? Is that in the winter?
It's like September or October, something like that. So
that's what sucks is that like I wish that they started the tours like a month later, just so they would go into December. And like if they were hitting the New England area in like December, January, I would try to go to as many shows as possible. Like the Jack Harlow one is, I think he comes to Connecticut on a Friday in September and then hits Boston, I think the 25th, like that next day.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to grab tickets for that for House of Blues because he's like one of my favorite rappers right now. So I definitely want to see him, but
that'd be a solid choice to go see.
It's kind of a beautiful thing seeing all of these artists posting their tour dates. It's normal now. I love it.
It's finally coming back. Like I'm pretty sure like Lil Baby's going on tour too. He's gonna be in Connecticut, I'm pretty sure. Like Lil Baby and Lil Durk, I'm pretty sure I saw that too.
Lil TJ, he's hitting Wallingford too. I think he's hitting the Oakdale in September.
Oh wow.
So it's and this year it stinks because like the Xfinity I don't think is going to have as many shows as they usually do. But next year the Xfinity is going to go crazy. Next bonkers. So for my first pick, I'm trying to change it up a little bit from the ones I've done before. So I'm going to go with Return of the Mac, Mark Morrison. That's one that I've been like, it's in my playlist. And for some reason, every time I shuffle it, it's at least the first, second, or third song that comes on.
Yeah.
And I've just, whenever I'm driving, like I have this thought with a song like Brooklyn Girls by Charles Hamilton. It's like a confidence song.
Yeah.
You get that ultimate dick swagger when you're listening to a song like that and you're driving around with your friends or something. It's just one of those songs that like if you're going to a party or you're just going somewhere with your friends and you throw that on, it's all of you have that swagger when you step out of the car. So Return of the Mac is going to be my number one pick.
Good choice. I'm gonna go a different route. I'm gonna go.
Are you between a couple here?
Yeah. So this one, don't hate on it. It's Pumped Up Kicks.
It's a good song. It's a
Not
great
like
song.
I know, like if you ever like see like the unofficial music video, yes, it's like okay, they're shooting, but like if you had no idea what it's like, windows down, or you might do like windows down, like 10, 11 o'clock at night, you're playing Pumped Up Kicks, like you're on the back roads or something like that. Best feeling.
It really it's a great song. Like honestly, that's one I honestly didn't even think about picking, and I'm kind of glad you took that one because I completely like forgot about that. Like there's certain songs you forget about, and then if you shuffle your music and it comes on, you're like, oh my god, this is great.
Exactly.
There's a good remix of it on SoundCloud. I'm trying to it's Pumped Up Kicks. Let me see. Pumped Up Kicks Bridge and Law remix by Trap God. It's pretty good. I've got that in my SoundCloud playlist. So check that one out when you get a chance. But yeah, I really like that pick right there at number 2. So for my second pick, I'm gonna go with Rock Your Body by Justin Timberlake. That's another one it's like an older one it's the same thing, like third or fourth song that comes on when I shuffle. So I've just gotten so used to it coming on. Like I was coming back from the Cape today. I went up, our ship came in, so I saw a bunch of my buddies get off it. But I got off the Mass Pike coming home, and it's beautiful out. So I rolled down all my windows, and that song came on next. I'm at the light. I'm like, damn, this like timed up perfectly. So and it's another song like Return of the Mac. It's a confident song, but it's also you can just groove to a song like Rock Your Body. So that's gonna be my second pick right there. So right now you've got
I have My Life, and then I just did
Pumped Up Kicks. All right.
Damn.
It's tough, right?
No, this is really tough. And since you like just put this out there, I was like, damn, like I'm just looking for everything. It's hard. God damn. Something. So I'm like just looking for like my place. I'm like, these are all good songs, but it's like they're like my number ones. That's the one thing.
You don't want to leave one off. We'll throw a couple honorable mention at the end. So if you have like ones that you definitely know will make it, and then some that are cusp ones, we can throw those in at the end.
I'll do Out for the Night, 21 Savage. That's my third pick.
Is that the one that there's the remix of too?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure.
Oh no, there is. It's Jesus, who features on that? Hang on, let me look that up. Because there's an Out for the Night and then Out for the Night Part 2. I think not Travis Scott. Out for the Night. Let me just. So that has. Go to Genius and see what it gives me. Oh, it is. It is Travis Scott at the end.
Oh, okay.
He throws a verse on the end, but I mean, it's a great song, and that album I think flew completely under the radar when it came out.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, I remember when that came out. It was like, I don't think it got the hype it deserved.
It didn't. It really didn't.
A lot of 21 Savage's albums, I don't think they got the hype they deserved, in my opinion.
Because like none of his albums really have, in my opinion, missed.
Yeah, no, every song and like even every feature that he's been on too, it's just like they're all good. But it's just that he's not giving, like, people aren't giving him the credit or something like that.
If the album is probably like a top 3 album from when I was in high school. Like when we were there, like for me, that and like I think At Long Last ASAP was probably on there too. But like Issa album was a great album to play in the car just when you were in the hallways. It was awesome. Number 3, I'm going with the Blink-182 Lil Wayne, What's My Age Again, a Milli remix. So with that, they were on tour they ended up hitting, I think, the whole Northeast. And then once they got to Ohio, Lil Wayne pulled out of the tour, which
Was there a reason behind that, or?
I don't think he realized that he was, because it was, I think, Blink 182's tour with like Lil Wayne opening.
Oh,
And I don't think Lil Wayne realized he was going to be the opening guy. I could be wrong, but that was some stories I heard. But I mean, this album, because I'm a huge Blink 182 fan, and A Milli it's a Madden song to me. So
yeah.
it combines those two worlds that I love, and just like the guitar with Lil Wayne rapping over it is great. So I mean, that's my number 3 right there.
That works well.
It's awesome.
My number 4 is gonna be Paradise by Coldplay.
Great song.
It's another one of those songs where you're just driving at night or you're wherever. Like there'd be times like last summer where we'd meet like Austin, we'd go up to Soapstone, maybe like nighttime, we're just like blasting the speaker. It's just like it's just something that the vibe. It's something about the song. It's like not listening to rap because like rap is just it's around like all the time basically. So when you start like breaking away, like listening to something else, you kind of just like clears your mind a little bit, and I got to think a little bit more. So
like Coldplay has a good amount of songs that can get like something like this is another great one. That's like a great summer song, and I like. But Paradise is awesome. I remember when that one came out. That was great when that came out. Oh my god.
It's like the feeling, like whenever you're listening to it, just like, all right, you just start thinking, you start doing whatever, and it just goes perfectly with the song.
When you hear that beginning part, like that first beginning music, it's a little bit of like a goosebumps feeling, like because it's just that good a song. Number 4, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go Knock Knock, Mac Miller. That's actually one my dad really likes that song too. He plays like he has Pandora. I keep telling him to get like Spotify or Apple Music. So he'll play like the YouTube video of Knock Knock in the car whenever he's driving. It's like that and Post Malone he really likes. But like Knock Knock's just awesome. It's another oldie but goodie. I'm kind of disappointed Mac Miller hasn't made any music recently. I think that kind of stinks, but Knock Knock's a good one. It's 11 years old, but it's a super upbeat song. Like I like the longer songs, but this one just a quick hit of dopamine. Like you feel so good after you listen to it.
Yeah.
So Knock Knock's gonna be my 4th overall pick.
Let me try to think. Last one.
Another guy that hasn't put out a lot of music recently is Juice WRLD. It's kind of he must be working on something.
just wait. I mean, there are like they do have songs. That's the thing. Like
I heard Juice WRLD has like a ton. Like his production has a ton banked.
Like I know Pop Smoke. There's supposed to be another album coming out like in the summer, like July like 16th. I think I saw. I was like Pop Smoke releasing an album. Like okay.
So I get very skeptical once they run out of music. I get skeptical because then I think they start imposing their voices and trying to make new music. And that's where I kind of draw the line a little bit. If they already have the music already banked, then I'm fine with them putting that out. But when it becomes you try to digitally impose his voice, it becomes, I think, an issue.
Which I don't think they'll do, hopefully. But like when that album with Pop Smoke last year, which, it got really hyped for like, I would say, I think people just like overhyped it into where it was like 2 weeks it was done, like a month, and then people just like forgot about it because like I'll be listening to Pop Smoke right now, and then I'll have someone in my car with me be like, oh my god, I haven't listened to Pop Smoke since last summer. I'm like, it kind of just died down. Like after like he died, like people were like the hype album, like oh he's coming back, like Pop Smoke, and then just died down.
Yeah,
that's it. A little off topic, but that's how it was.
You're just buying time to figure out what your 5th pick is.
I am too. But I was speaking facts, so that's all.
No, I do agree. I agree.
But I'll go.
Final pick here.
I'll go. Last one is Gone. Now the reasoning by Kanye West. The reason behind this is like, I'm just thinking ahead of time when I'm going to LSU. I'm like, all right, I'm gone. I'm just like, it's out. That's the whole reasoning. But like, it's such a good song. Like we went over this the last podcast.
Yeah.
Just fantastic. So that's always going to be on my top 5 for sure.
you got to change it too when you're coming back. You got to do once you cross like the Connecticut border or like you get into Hartford, you got to throw on Homecoming.
Oh
That's
yeah,
got to be like the one for when you're coming back.
during the winter time. Oh, that's gonna be an interesting drive because like coming for like the winter from a hot area to bam right into cold.
That drive's gonna blow once you get out of like not even Virginia. Like which way? So you're gonna be driving like through Tennessee and
I can like pull it up because like I've already like just mapped it out like how I'm doing it.
you're not going up the coast and then across, right? So you won't go like South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, and then down through.
Let's
Just
see.
trying to figure out because like you're gonna hit like once you get out of like a Tennessee or a North Carolina, it's just gonna be brutal because you'll be coming back in what like mid-December.
Yep.
That's gonna
Or like mid to early like December is when I'll be like coming back because they start their stuff like a little early.
gotcha.
Like, I'm like their semester starts in mid-August is when I'll be starting. But like once I get out of Washington, I'll be going like through Virginia, Tennessee, Atlanta, for a little bit of Atlanta. I'm going all the way through Bama, which kind of sucks. I don't want to go through Alabama.
Backwoods right there. You're gonna go right through the backwoods of Alabama.
It is what it is at that point. Mississippi, and then get right there. So once I get to like Tennessee, once I start like getting up closer to like Virginia, that's where it's gonna start getting shit.
You're gonna have to stop at like a gas station and throw on pants. Go
Yeah.
from like shorts and a t-shirt to pants and a hoodie at that point.
That means I'll have to pack something. So I just plan on like not packing any winter clothes while I'm down in Louisiana because there'd be no point.
No need for it.
Like I'm not gonna bring my bean boots down to Louisiana because when will I ever wear them?
It's a good point. Number 5. I'm between two. I'm gonna go with Bust a Move, Young MC. The first time like almost any person our age has heard it is in Blindside when they're driving in the car and that's what they're singing and then they get in the car accident. But like I'm at the point now where I play that in the car, not even like for pleasure, but just to try to rap the entire thing. And I'm getting like super close. It's just I fumble a couple words. So like I'm really trying to get it down. So when I've got people in the car with me and it comes on, I can just spit the whole thing. Like that's honestly where I'm at. It's just a great song.
That's a solid pick. You know, with Apple Music, you always look at the lyrics too, but like that's just very solid.
All right, now
give
me two honorable mentions that just missed the cut.
Too honorable. Let me go back.
I'll give you while you're looking for that. I'll give you my two.
Yeah.
So for me on this one, the ones that missed were I Write Sins Not Tragedies by Panic at the Disco. That's one like when I'm in the car and that bass drops like where it's I chime in, I just start pounding on the drums like on my steering wheel. Like I got one hand on and then I'm just playing it with like my right hand, like playing along on the drums. So at that one, and then the other one would probably be I'd say All Night Longer by Sammy Adams. That's just a party song right there. It's a great party song. It's timeless too. It came out in 2012 and it still holds up today.
Yes, my two. There's this one's a shout out. Austin, he put me on to Everybody Wants to Rule the World. That's one of the best.
You've never heard that beforehand?
No.
Jeez.
I like my okay. So my music taste was very skewed when I was growing up. I grew up with 2 older sisters, so just put that into play. So whenever I got in the car, I didn't get aux. It was I'm listening to Taylor, like I was into Taylor Swift and like a bunch of, I guess you say girly stuff, but like just nothing close to being like kind of like classic stuff.
Ray Jepsen and like you said, Taylor Swift, stuff like that.
Yeah, so it was just a bunch of that. Not until like mid to high school, it's like when I started like, okay, like this is where I'm like exploring my music more.
Yeah.
So Everybody Wants to Rule the World. That's always going to be on there just because it's a fantastic song. And Paper Planes, MIA.
MIA, yeah, great song.
So that's just a fantastic. Again, another one. Windows down, all that, amazing.
I can respect, like I said, especially like this isn't like what we think the top 5 summer songs are.
Oh,
It's like what it because it's gonna change next year. I'm probably gonna have 5 different ones and then 2
yeah.
different honorable mention ones, or maybe one will stay the same. But it all goes with the mood and what music comes out. And there's like still music I find nowadays where I'm like, oh my god, I just found this hidden gem, and then I'm like, wait, and everybody's like, no,
It's been
this
there.
came out a while ago. I'm like,
Yep.
oh damn. I'm trying to think what that is. Oh, what's it? The band songs like 1901 and Listomania.
Yep.
1901 I remembered from FIFA, and then I finally figured out who actually sang it like probably 6-7 months ago.
Yep.
And I played it for my roommate when we were driving the car. I'm like, yo, have you heard this song before? And he was like, are you fucking with me? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, literally everybody knows about this. And I'm like, so I play another song with him. He's like, yeah, everybody knows about this. I'm like,
That's tough. That's
damn.
tough. You were ready to put people on. It's like, damn.
That's the worst feeling is when you're like,
Yep.
I'm gonna put you on, and people are like,
nope.
We know this. It hurts too. It also
you just like smile through, but you're like, damn. Like on the inside, it's just like it sucks. Like,
it's the meme of like the smiling face over the and then the guy behind it crying. Like that's pretty much all it is.
Yep. But it is what it is at that point.
Yeah. So have you been following the NBA at all this year? Or
oh yeah. The playoffs, I'm loving how it's looking up right now. You know, I think we talked about this, like, you know, like without LeBron in it, I know like it's gonna sound like I'm a LeBron hater, but I'm not. But like, you know, it's just more interesting for me now to see like this really is gonna be like a kind of like a history making final. Just because the Bucks haven't won since like 1970.
I saw the Clippers and Suns have never won.
And the Hawks haven't
won in the 50s when they were St. Louis.
Yeah, but
like technically, and then the Hawks and the Bucks were the 70s.
Yeah, NBA wise, they technically never have won.
Right.
So in a perfect world, I want the Hawks and Suns to be in the finals. That's my finals I want to see.
I said that, like, it's not like I tried to predict it, but I said that at the beginning of the playoffs. I was just like, how awesome would it be if we got like a Trae Young, Devin Booker NBA finals? And now I'm like, we're so close. We're so close.
Game 1's tonight, right? Or is it happening?
It's going on right now. It's 88-85 into the third. Atlanta's up right now.
Oh shit.
But I mean, Phoenix taking the 2-0 lead early on.
That buzzer beater yesterday, perfect.
I was like in bed trying to go to sleep. I think listening to music or like watching a YouTube video, and my group chat starts blowing up, and they're like, oh my god, did you see that? So I'm like, what happened? I just I look up just like Suns game on YouTube, and like the 8 clip is up right then, and I'm like, that is insane that happened.
So it's like a 2K call. You're like, all right, here's it. But like it worked perfectly. That's the thing. It just worked.
What's dangerous too is that the Suns don't have Chris Paul either.
Exactly.
Who is their second, probably legitimately, you could argue he's their best player because he's their best facilitator. Like without Chris Paul, Devin Booker and Ayton don't play as good as they do this whole season. That's like true. Booker's probably right now, him and Ayton are probably better because they're younger, but Paul is that perfect facilitator for the two of them together. And so when he comes back, hopefully for game 3, then I think they could blow the Clippers out. I think they win the series in 5 games, 4-1. I don't think they sweep them. I think the Clippers win.
It's Clippers like win game 4. People are always saying like, oh, the Clippers have always gone down 2 in a playoff, and they make a comeback. So that's what I say. Like it's going to set up like that. But I think if the Suns take this next game and then the Clippers take 1, I think that's it. If they're able to take 1 away, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, if you can go up 3-1 or even finish the sweep ball, I think 3-1, like I said, and then they bring it back to Phoenix and end up closing it out in Phoenix, winning it 4-1 in game 5 for the Bucks. I think this series legitimately goes.
I think it's going to game 7. I think it's 100% going to game 7. just because I know it's gonna be back and forth from where it's home and away. I know Trae Young can be off and on because like in the playoff game that they just won to get into the Eastern Conference final, like his stats weren't that crazy. Like I know he got a double-double, but like shooting wise, his field goal percentage was a little off that game. So I could go back and forth on him, but Trae Young's being like an absolute beast right now. I'm loving the role he's playing as like the villain of the NBA, or like that's how people are seeing him as.
Yeah.
Like when they were like in New York and everybody's saying like "fuck you" or something like that, and he's just smiling, having a good time. People are pissed off at him.
He took Atlanta into arguably the two most hostile NBA venues in like the whole league. I'm trying to think. LA really isn't because it's a whole celebrity fest. I mean, the only other argument could be I wouldn't even say Boston. Do you take them into like, because I honestly look at New York and Philadelphia fans, it just, when it comes down to every sport, probably are like the worst people in the world. They're like the scum of the earth. Like I hate, they're just the worst. And Trae Young takes the Hawks into New York and into Philly. And I mean, the Knicks had so much buzz around them too. They had a great year. Julius Randle was playing out of his mind, but then he disappears. It was just, at first, I kind of wanted the Knicks to do good just because I remember growing up, like the Knicks teams that I liked watching was when it was Melo, J.R. Smith, and Iman Shumpert, Tyson Chandler. And I was like, it would be cool to see them be good again. But then when I saw him take that villain role, I'm like, rubbing my hands together. I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is cool.
And it's good. Even if they lose this year, like say that happens, he's still going to have like, I think Trae Young proved himself as a really dangerous threat now in the NBA, just as a whole. With like, yes, he can like draw a foul really good. That is one thing, but that's also just him playing by the rule book. You can say the same thing with like James Harden. People are saying, oh, like he draws fouls really good. But that's just them playing by the rules at the end of the day.
I think the NBA, I think, is trying to get rid of that move where it's like the guy on your back and you flinch into him and draw the foul. I think they're trying to make that call go away, which I would honestly be fine with. But right now, like, I hate it, but you really can't. I look at the end of the day, like you said, I can't criticize them for doing it because they're winning games and they're putting their teams into the position to be better. Like, they're getting to the line, they're getting guys in foul trouble. So at the end of the day, they're doing their job. I mean, granted, I don't like it, and a lot of, I think, fans like myself and you do not like that, but they're playing the game.
Exactly. And then it's still their job. They still have to do it well. So, like you said, like they're just playing it and being perfect at it. Same thing you can say with like the baseball, like the foreign subs and stuff. Like I don't follow baseball too much, but I've been seeing like on ESPN, like
the pitchers like stripping down and stuff.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what's like really going on. I know like with the substance itself, like it was like kind of legal in a way, or like sort of with what they were using.
So I think they were checking them for like pine tar, which is illegal.
Yep.
But I'm positive because that's usually what they're usually checking for. I know like one year I think Sabathia got caught with it, and like if you get caught with it, you get tossed immediately. But a lot of batters have actually said they want that to be legalized because they're like, it gives pitchers more control. We would rather them put the ball over the plate and not near our head by accident. So a lot of like, I think all the players and probably managers are all for it. It's just like the league pretty much being against it. And I mean, end of the day, I think I've said it before. I just think steroids should be legal at this point too. As a consumer, I just want to see the best athletes that they can put out there. If you don't want to take steroids, don't do it. But if you want to, like the years of like that I didn't witness, but if you go back and watch the highlights of McGuire, Sosa, and Bonds, Roger Clemens, it was absolutely bonkers what these guys were doing. And I mean, just pump their veins full of steroids and give me great baseball.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's still like an entertainment thing, and they still want to like make kids like believe that like, you know, this is a natural thing you can do. This is something you can do. But I think a lot of people know there's definitely some sketch shit going on with like either in college football, regular, just any sport. Everybody knows there's something going on. We're just not being in the loop of it. They're getting paid, all that stuff. Because like some of these guys look like absolute freaks, and they're able to stay like pretty lean and still build lean muscle mass onto themselves throughout the year.
Mhm.
Little sketchy. I know it's like a lot of it goes to genetics and like hard work, but like there's some questionable things that we as just like consumers of the entertainment don't know.
We're gonna have to send you into the LSU facility when you're down there and do a little investigative work.
I'll just find like a secret door that says like do not enter, authorized only, open it up, and I just see like all like the SARMs that are just in there. I'm like, oh great, good job, guys.
You see, I don't even know an LSU player right now who. I was about to say like Leonard Fournette, like in there, but that wouldn't make. But you see like an LSU running back, like putting the needle right in his ass as he's doing it. That would be.
Oh man, if I got that on video, damn,
That would be. If we threw that up on the YouTube page too, that would blow up. If you did a video of an LSU receiver just putting a needle in his ass to pumping SARMs, that would be crazy.
That's game over for like they're gonna extremely test everybody now, and they're gonna find so many more people on it too. But that's just like the way I kind of see it. They could still be 100% natural, all that, but professional athletes are definitely iffy on me at the moment. Just seeing like some of their physiques, I'm like, damn. Like I know hard work and all that, but I'm like, you could potentially be pumping something in. Something that's like
I look at it more when it's an older player.
Yep.
When like you see an older player who was an okay guy, like an okay, say maybe a receiver, kind of play okay, and then he turns like 30 when guys are supposed to really hit the wall and they have an all pro or a Pro Bowl year. You're like, good for you, but let's take a quick timeout. Flag on the play. Let's pee in this cup for me.
But then again, money talks. Everybody knows that. So they're just paying everybody out at that point.
Yeah. All right. So that'll wrap up Tom and I for right now. Now we're going to get into the interview with Central Connecticut State baseball player Elliot Good. Hope you guys enjoy.